Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call this October 25th, 2024 special meeting of the NMU Board of Trustees to order. And at this time, I would call on Secretary Andrew to please take the roll.
Trustee Young,
Here.
Trustee Hart,
Here.
Trustee Fatante, Trustee Sepinen,
Here.
Trustee Holmquist,
Here.
Trustee LaPointe Dunham,
Here.
Trustee Lindberg,
Here.
Trustee Toutant. Okay, we have a quorum with 6 trustees present.
Thank you, Secretary Andrew. At this time, we have one agenda item, and that's our external audit. And I'd like to call on Vice President Gavin Leach to lead this discussion. Good morning, Gavin.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair Young. At this point, today we're going to be presenting our 2023-24 audited financial statements, and we have representatives from the Raymond audit firm to present their audit report and walk through our 23-24 financial statements. From Raymond, we have Steve Peacock as well as Josh Sullivan, and I think Josh Sullivan will be leading that discussion. So I'm going to turn it over to you at this point, Josh.
Wonderful. Thank you, Gavin. And thank you, board. I'm going to share my screen here and I'll run through the statements at any point or hitting them at a high level. At any point, please stop me if there's a question. We did go through these in detail with the Finance Audit Committee a little over a week ago. So I wanted to hit the highlights and share some things with you. So let me get this shared. You should see the cover page now to the statements. Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
we're good.
Thank you. All right. So I'm going to go first to the audit opinion. You'll see here audit opinion dated October 22nd. The first couple paragraphs talk about the actual opinion. First paragraph talks about what we audited. We audited the financial statements of the business type activities and the discretely presented component unit of Northern Michigan University for the years ended June 30th, 24 and 2023, including the related notes to the financial statements, which all comprise the complete financial statements. Second paragraph is the actual opinion, and our opinion based on our audits and the report of other auditors. The accompanying financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the business type activities and discretely presented component unit of the university as of June 30th, 24 and 23. That is a clean, unmodified opinion or the highest level of assurance that we can place on these financial statements. Moving forward to the statement of financial position, I will blow this up so we can see it a little bit, or statement of net position. You'll see overall total assets increased approximately $22 million year over year, while total liabilities decreased approximately $35 million. Of that 35 million, 28 million was the reduction in the pension liability, and I'll speak a little bit more about that in a few minutes. Total net position year over year increase of approximately 57 million, and we'll talk about that a little bit on the next page as well. Statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position. Going down to the bottom of this, you will see the increase in net position of, as I mentioned, almost $57 million. There's a few factors that come into that. A lot of one-time or normal non-recurring type items. There was MIPSERS adjustments and additional appropriations made up about 31.4 of that. As you probably recall, the state had given additional funds for a couple of years. 28 million the one year and another 18 million in this fiscal year that reduced those expenses and as a result increased your net position. The MIPSERS adjustments that I mentioned was approximately 31.4 million of that. There was also investment income this year, approximately 9.1 million, which is up from prior years. Some additional capital appropriations of just under 9 million. And then some other non-normal recurring items for rip and replace for 5.4. Total operations increase in that position was approximately 4.4 million of that 57 million. So I think it's also important to notice if you're looking at the operating expenses section, you're seeing a significant reduction, approximately 7 million in total operating expenses. And that's because of those MIPSRS adjustments flowing through those accounts as well. It gets spread based on the accounting standards. It gets spread between these different expense classifications. So from a comparability standpoint, it's kind of hard to see because all that MIPSRS coming through there. I didn't. We went through the footnotes in detail with the finance committee as well when we went through those. So at this point, I just wanted to make sure to thank Gavin, Jamie, Rebecca, and the rest of the finance team for all the hard work that went into getting this report to this point and to finalize by October 22nd when we actually issued the final report. So thank you to the team there. And if there is any questions, I'd be happy to go through any of those at this point.
Board members, do we have any questions for the auditors?
Can't seem like, okay, now I got my full screen.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it, Gavin.
Okay.
Steve,
so. If there are no questions, at this point, we'd move to ask the board to have a motion to accept the audit report.
We have a motion.
I move to accept the financial audit report as presented.
And I'll second that motion.
Is there any discussion?
First of all, I'd just like to thank our partners at the Raymond Group for your support and also just of what was just said. You know, Gavin, your team, Jamie, Rebecca, a lot of hard work goes into this. We've had some great headwinds, I would say. You know, we have the increase from the MEPSRs, but with an overall 56.8 million increase in our net position, that's pretty fantastic. So thank you for all of the oversight. And we always have the opportunity to meet with Raymond after just to understand, you know, if there's any chinks in the armor or cracks that we need to fill. And we always get just such an excellent report on the way the finances are handled. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hart.
Any other comments or questions from the group?
I would just echo what Vice Chair Hart said. You know, this is probably now my, I don't know, 6th or 7th one of these. And Alexis, you and I are, and Lisa, I think, have been the more have longevity in terms of these reports. And I can't remember getting a bad audit, and that says something to you know, about the team we have and the work that they do and how serious they take this. And I just want to echo what Vice Chair Hart said. It's been an amazing run, and keep it up for a couple more years while I'm still on the board. So seriously, I appreciate it, Brock, you know, the team that we have and Gavin and the team that you've assembled to make these kind of reports happen, because not everybody gets these kind of reports.
They certainly don't.
Thank you, Chair Young.
Chair Young, I just would say it's so good you make that last point. This kind of clean, unmodified report, it is rarer than we might assume, especially for the type of institution we are at Northern. And you read the national headlines, you understand that there are a lot of different scenarios playing out. So it really is Gavin, Jamie, Rebecca, the whole team. And then really across campus too, we earn these reports. I mean, the numbers that go into the reports don't come from nowhere. They come from a lot of hard work. And so pointing out that hard work has generated this positive result. We'll have to keep putting that work in to continue earning it. And then this board knows well, the strong position we're in does give us the opportunity to make some investments, and we just have to make those investments very carefully. Make the investments carefully in our people, our academic programming, of course, and do so in a way that continues to perpetuate the growth and solid position we're in. So it's a high bar. Gavin and Rebecca, Jamie, others have cleared it. I'm so grateful to work with that team and grateful for the board. I mean, you steer us along the way. And so a good day to be a Wildcat for sure.
Yeah, well put, Buck. And the one other thing I didn't mention is Gavin, your accessibility to us as a board. It's constant. If any of us ever have a question, we know we can pick up the phone and call you, and you're going to pick up or get back to us, as soon as you possibly can. And I think that's also not standard. I think it's standard in our operation, and it's very, very much appreciated because a lot of us have questions that we need to have that resource, and you're always there, and that accessibility is critical to us as board members.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? So we just have the one motion, right? Alexis,
correct.
just,
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
okay. All right, so if there's no other discussion, I don't want to stop. If anybody's got anything to say, one wants, okay. Okay, then at this time, I would ask Secretary Andrew to call the roll on the motion.
Okay, please indicate with yes or no. Trustee Young,
Yes,
trustee Hart,
Yes,
trustee Sepinen,
Yes.
trustee Holmquist,
Yes.
trustee LaPointe Dunham,
Yes.
trustee Lindberg, trustee Lindberg,
Yes.
motion carries 6-0.
excellent. Okay, thank you, everybody. There is no further business before the board, and we stand adjourned. Thank you.
You, everybody.
everyone,
Thank you,
thank
guys.
you.